actually a design coordinator. I'm responsible to make sure that all design parts of the job are coordinated and work together. Clients' requirements are interpreted right and put in the designs that we try to optimize a detail or a design, which might involve a lot of changes, but it's always with the purpose to make a design easier to build and better to work for an operator or client. The things I like about my job is obviously the diversity in trades which I work with, from groundworks all the way into the finishes, structural elements, finishes like even up to paint specs, but also getting the tiles in right. And actually seeing designs and details being built as what you envisaged, it's quite satisfying when you're out on site and see those things happen. In general, the challenges on a leisure centre are obviously constructing pool holes, making sure obviously that the pools are watertight, but also within the building is to create sort of an airtight balloon between the pool atmosphere and the rest of the building. Together with that, coordinating the filtration install and mechanical and electrical install. Particular on this job is actually our diving pool, which is actually 4.5 meters into the ground. So the big challenge is to make that work, to dig down that depth, but also make sure we don't encroach into the rest of the building too much, so we can keep that area free for construction. Plus we've got the 3 and the 5 meter diving platform, which is going to be a precast unit or units, which is quite challenging to lift them in through the roof, which is not something which is really common on an everyday job. So by using these models, it's very easy to see the position of a structural frame in relation to, for example, your window frames. Does that work? Is there enough room in between them? The tool also allows you to measure those kind of things. If I take the section a little bit further down through the slab, there it is, through the slab, then it allows me to show actually some clashes, for example, between M&E and steel. So I'll just switch off parts of the models which I don't need, and if I just raise the section over here, we have a nice example of a duct running through a steel beam, which obviously is not right. So what we normally do is we'll select the duct. In this case, the duct needs to be lowered, so we'll select the duct and we'll create a new issue, which means that the issue is going to be sent to our mechanical contractor so he can update his model and lower that beam to resolve it. So part of the coordination, part of the clashes and the issues there are within the building process and design process are being dealt with this platform. So it starts to become a little bit more interactive instead of trying to do everything over email and on paper. This is a compilation of several models. First of all, we start with a structural model, which basically shows the foundation pads, the slabs, the pool profiles, piling underneath the pools. And then on top of that, we have our steel structure, which now nicely ties in with foundation pads. There is some gaps in the model because the model isn't a complete true reflection. It still gives you quite a good idea if connections and details are going to work, like that base plate and footing. And then on top of that, we can actually get a mechanical model in there, which is the mechanical installation, so like ductwork, air handling units, any drainage pipe work. Let me just twist it, turn it, yeah. And overall we can then add the architectural model to it as well, which basically is a combined model, which means that now it's very easy for us to start checking the design against each other, the various designs against each other, to prevent any clashes between the different elements. I can actually go through the building with sections like this and start to look at, for example, does that steel beam sit just underneath the slab? Is that right, or does that clash? It also shows, for example, an example of a clash. This is a nice example of something that doesn't work. This is supposed to be a transfer grill connected to that duct. At the moment they're not at the same height, not connected, so that's an error, which is easier to be found in a model like this than all the 2D drawings and paperwork. You go into the pool, so basically you can look through the reception area or cafe area into the pool via the screen. But if I just move the section over slightly, that gives a clearer view of what the pool hall is going to look like. It's obviously very sketchy images, but that's all we need for our clash detection and coordination. With the diamond tower in the back, you can even see the two springboards, and here you can see the depth of that diving pool now as well, which is to the bottom of the pool is actually 4.5 meters. There will be a movable floor in there, so the depth will be reduced 3.8. Try to give you a little bit of an internal view on the cafe. So basically our viewpoint is from the entrance entrance lobby into the cafe area, and from the cafe you can actually look through the windows into that main pool hall.